Just a quick one to show you the vertex editing inside Unity. I'm working on this shader. So the shader itself is essentially blending a bunch of different textures based on the vertex values. I bought this plugin called VPaint that allows me to paint vertex colors. So I'm using that to blend between a bunch of textures. I'll just show you a quick example here. And the idea is that the blends will blend sort of different types of materials, so kind of a rusty base and then a more metallic. So the idea is that you'll have a metal base, and then a sort of rusty version on top, and then the paint cut on top of that. I've not done the specular and the normal maps yet, so it doesn't quite look right in the lighting and stuff. But this kind of thing is really useful for when you need to have like variation on large surfaces. So if I look at this kind of guy over here and actually paint, oops, wrong color. You can paint various things over the top of it, and the idea is that you can have tiling textures and create the variation using the vertex color or the manipulations of the actual mask itself. So I can paint the mask out or paint it back in or whatever. And the same thing happens over here if I want to do some bit more rust on the surface. So you can see that the shader itself should be relatively good. I mean, it allows you to, the setup here is not quite right yet, but it should allow us to kind of have variations on buildings. And these base colors, right now they're built into a particular texture map, but eventually, oops, I probably did that a little bit wrong. They're built into the texture map, but what we'll actually get is these will be like a vertex color setting for the shader. So they'll kind of mask out different areas and then use the vertex color for the mask. So it'll look a little bit different than this. You can see that the sort of the interesting bit is that you can paint things like just rust onto the corners of the buildings and stuff. So I'm going to build in another like stain mask on top of this, so that you'll get like water stains coming off the edges. But I've not quite done that yet. You can see there's an ambient occlusion thing built into this so far. And also I'm going to do a height mask, so you can actually apply height variations. Essentially all of this stuff is masked in different ways, which means that there's a noise sort of transition mask that controls how these blends occur right now. So you can change the scale of the noise and it'll look slightly different. And you'll have a height thing that will allow you to essentially set how deep the transition is. So if you've got like, I guess, a tiled surface, you can paint the rust just in the tile crevices and that kind of thing. But I'm reasonably happy with how it's working so far. It's actually quite fun. It's quite therapeutic just sort of painting stuff in. If I turn and you pass it up on the brush, I can get more rust going on at the bottom here. Yeah, I like this approach. It seems like it'll do pretty well. So that's really. I just wanted to sort of share the shader. I'll probably put the shader up on the website somewhere once I've finished working out the kinks in it. And there you go, a bit of vertex painting.